Every single hero needs that one great story to burn their name into the history books. Theseus took on the Minotaur. Odysseus fought tooth and nail to get home. And Icarus, he's kind of just infamous for flying too close to the sun. The next little guy we're going to make in Blender is still figuring things out. This tiny Froggo is determined to make his mark on the world. And even if his little adventure doesn't quite go to plan, I know he'll make quite the impression on our hearts. As his mum, all I can do is prepare him the best I can to send him off into the big wide world so he can chart his own path. So let's just get him ready to ride at dawn. To Blender! Even though the hero for this sculpt is our little Froggo friend, I'm actually going to start by sculpting his very noble steed who genuinely could not give a hoot about making a legacy. I've never made a four-legged creature before, so that kind of makes me a bit nervous. I mean, for all I know, he might end up looking a little bit cursed like this fellow. I mean, you can't say that he doesn't have a personality, even though it is a bit of a judgy one. Now, I do know all you guys at home are thinking, Rhea, why does your horse look like a capybara? Well, to that I say,
I'm sorry for bringing shame to this YouTube video. Whee!
Ooh, I've given him a tail. Does that help? I feel like we might need to check out some reference images. This horse has a tail. This capybara has a hidden tail. And there's your empirical proof that this sculpt is a horse. Hey you, stop the video. Yeesh. Alright, bossy boots. I will be interrupting this video very briefly to provide you with some pictures of some very cute baby capybaras and baby horses. Honestly, my heart just melted when I saw them, so I just wanted to share the love. Thanks for bearing with me. Let's go back to normal programming. So the next step in making this chunky boy look a little bit more equine is giving him a muzzle. As you can see, I've applied the subdivision modifiers to have more vertices to move around. One thing that I'd always recommend is reusing parts of your model wherever you can if it makes life easier. Because why would you spend ages reshaping a torus when you can just duplicate an edge loop and add a bit of thickness? Now we're onto the hair. It is a little bit difficult to see, but I generally start with a single vertex and extrude out a few more to create the overall shape. It is a really simple technique, but I find it gives me a lot of control over where the hair flows. Apparently, I also use my free will to give our horse the quintessential Elvis quiff. I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. Moving on to the business end of our horse, I use the exact same technique, but this time I made a few individual strands that flow in different directions to make the tail feel a little bit less flat. I kind of reckon this pretty pony is much more suited to frolicking through flower fields, rather than galloping towards danger with a tiny frog on its back. He actually reminds me of a very sassy cockapoo that I used to pet sit. At the tiniest hint of rain, he would genuinely refuse to walk, and I just had to pick him up and carry him home. I feel like that's exactly what our horse would do. At the slightest whiff of danger, he would probably give you the blankest stare possible and completely refuse to move too. Well, I guess you gotta work with what you've got.
You get nothing!
Here's a little snippet of me making the saddle. It's not really the most exciting part of the process, is it? I think you'll find that our Froggo friend is very interested in butt cushioning, especially for those long faraway adventures. Well, that's fair. Now that we have all the base shapes, let's move on to the details. I mean, little did I know, this is where everything started to go wrong. As soon as I started to remesh and smooth the body parts, Blender just kept on crashing. Do you think it might be because of the amount of triangles I've got? Yikes. Honestly, thank goodness for the decimate modifier. After just a few more crashes, I managed to bring the face count way down and my computer was much happier. Just to really quickly step in, I completely understand if you're telling me off through the screen right now saying, Rhea, it's still an eyesore. Why so many triangles? Use quads. Well, for this sculpt, I'm not really planning to animate it, so it doesn't really matter how many triangles there are. Now that the crisis has been averted and I don't need to restart the whole project, let's quickly block out our Froggo friend. There is a slight issue though. He kind of looks more like a bear than a frog at the moment. Apparently, this entire video is all about giving my Blender sculpt an identity crisis. It turns out all he needs is a little bit of colour. Plus, if I give him a mustache and a top hat, he looks like a very distinguished gentleman.
Ah yes, a very distinguished gentleman indeed.
Yes, he does look very, very fancy, but it's not really quite the look we're going for. I want him to be feisty. So I'm going to get rid of the swanky top hat and replace it with some really shiny armour instead. Can I just comment that I find it absolutely hilarious how villainous the collar looks? I just kind of feel like he looks really silly. But you know what, for now, let's just trust the process, because once his armour is all shiny and metallic, I'm sure he'll look a lot more gallant and, you know, less Doctor Strange. Now let's just move on to the good old noggin. We're just going to keep the helmet fairly simple and cute to match the rest of the armour. But the real razzle dazzle is going to come from the magnificent plume I'm going to be designing for our little frog friend. We'll just be a little bit cheeky and grab one of the horsey's tail strands so we don't have to start from scratch. So historically, plumes were added to helmets to make soldiers appear a lot taller and more intimidating on the battlefield. I think I would genuinely wee myself if I saw an army of plumes riding towards me. But I don't really think the same kind of fear is invoked when you're a tiny frog. If anything, he just kind of looks like he's playing dress up in his dad's armour. Maybe he's just a little froglet with a very big imagination. It's kind of got me thinking, what has made our Froggo friend so passionate that he's willing to haul his butt out of bed before dawn? Maybe he's off to slay some magical beast and he just wants to avoid the traffic. Or maybe he just wants to be the first knight to grab the golden fly because it will grant immortality. Or maybe someone's just really cheesed him off and he can't wait to get vengeance. I'd love to hear your silliest suggestions, so please feel free to leave them in the comments below. It'll give me a good laugh.
Squeeze.
Our new little friend is missing one very important thing. His sword. I mean, how embarrassing would it be if he actually started, riding at dawn and then he just has to turn around because he's forgotten something? Oh, the shame of it. I'm just going to, mash together all the usual bits and pieces you'd expect to come with a build your own sword kit. A pommel to help with balance. A grip to, grip the sword. A guard to stop someone else from accidentally removing your fingers. And finally, the blade to do all the stabby business. Just in case you want to get your own kit, here's the tag so you know where to get it. Oh wow, IKEA are really expanding their product range. Bringeth the sword. Alrighty, I do think there's been enough shenanigans, so let's check out the final sculpt. Don't they just grow up so fast? I really hope you don't mind, but I'm going to keep this outro really short because there's currently a heat wave in the UK and I am absolutely melting. I truly do hope you've enjoyed watching our little Froggo friend. I think by now we can call him our collective child. And his noble steed come to life. I just think he's so precious. If you did enjoy the video, please do like and subscribe because there's plenty more 3D modelling content to come. Take care and I'll see you soon for more Blender shenanigans. Bye-bye!